Hey everyone, it's Jen at Watches Off Fifth, and today I want to show you guys some brand new 2023 releases of the Rolex Daytonas. These are the 60th anniversary releases, and yes, it is the 60th anniversary release. Just because Rolex isn't cutting a cake doesn't mean the watch didn't come out in 1963. It's now 2023, so you do the math. So Rolex has been releasing chronographs since the 1930s, and during this time period the watch was called the Le Mans, and in 1963 finally the words Daytona appear on the dial of the watch, and that was reference number 6239. You guys may be wondering why the words Daytona and Cosmograph are written on the dial of the watch. So Daytona is obviously the name of the watch, but it was named after the famous speedway in Florida. And the words Cosmograph are written because the watch was in the race to be the first watch in space, but they did end up losing to Omega. The next release we have is the 6240. This is when some of the watches had the words Daytona and some didn't. And also this variation was one of the rarest produced among the Daytonas. After this, we have the release of the 6241, and finally the word Daytona is on all of the watches from here on out. In the 1970s, we have 4 new variations from the Daytona. These feature the new 727 caliber, and they're made in stainless steel and gold. The reference numbers are 6262, 6263, 6264, and 6265. Around this time, Paul Newman was gifted his first Daytona by his wife. He wore the 6239, and he also had an exotic dial. Paul Newman was a race car driver, an actor, a director, basically all of the above, but he really helped popularize the Daytona, and he's one of the main reasons why the Daytona is seen in the mainstream watch world today and why it is such a successful and influential watch. Fast forward to 1988, we have a new release of the 16500. This watch was known as the Zenith Daytona because Zenith was the one who created the caliber, which is known as the El Primero. This was really the birth of the modern Daytonas. As you can see, this version of the Daytona is the closest thing to a modern day Daytona that we've seen so far. The Zenith Daytona had its run from 1988 to 2000. Then was the new release of the 116-500. This one had the new 4130 caliber, and it was slightly thinner, but did have a bigger case size of 42 millimeters. Fast forward a couple years to 2013, Rolex has been introducing the ceramic bezel into some models. It wasn't until 2016 when they really started to implement the ceramic bezels into all of the models, and this was super helpful because many people complained about their watches getting really scratched up, and this just solved that issue for them. And now I'm excited to show you guys the 2023 release of the Rolex Daytona 60th anniversary edition, reference number 116500LN. The difference between this Panda and the last one are very small, but if you wanted to see a more in-depth video, we did make a video on that, so you can click right here. Next up, we have reference number 126503. This has a gorgeous two-tone bracelet with a champagne dial, and we also have the black outlined subdials. Next up, we have the Oyster Flex version, reference number 126518. This has the same gold case and champagne dial. We also have the full black subdials and the black bezel, and the gold outlining around the black ceramic bezel. It's a really nice touch. Lastly, my favorite watch of the whole video, reference number 126505. This has a gorgeous black dial with diamond hour markers on this beautiful rose gold bracelet and case. Everything about this watch is perfect. At Watches Off Fifth, we like to call this the Naked Rainbow Daytona. She is just amazing. This is how much I curl when I work out, so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the Rolex Daytona. Let me know which was your favorite Daytona era down in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!